So if you're watching this video, I have announced that I have retired from professional football. And some of you may know me as Shiv the footballer or Shiv the fitness influencer. So basically I wanted to make this video to explain why I made this decision and how I came to this decision. But in order to do that, we need to go right back to the start, and I'm going to explain how I even got here in the first place. So I have played football my whole entire life, literally for as long as I can remember. I think I first started playing competitively maybe at the age of like 6 or 7. So played in England up until I was about 18. Then I went to America on a scholarship. So I went out there, went to university and played football. And I was there for about 5 years. And I now have a lot of American subscribers and followers. And I actually went to Georgia State. I went to like a junior college before, but that was the last university, so to speak, that I was at. And I lived in Atlanta for about 2 or 3 years. Big up ATL. Big up ATL. And it was probably the best 4 or 5 years of my life. And I'll be real, I went out there purely to play football. I did not give a toss about university. I was like, bro, this is an opportunity for me to go live in America and play football. I'm there. What do you mean? But anyway, graduated in December 2017. And I went straight from there to Spain and started playing professionally for a year. And then I went from there to Italy and played for half a season. So I was there for like January to May. And then obviously moved back to England. So it was 2022 at this point, I think. I might be getting all the dates mixed up, I don't know. And obviously I'd been living away from home for like 6 or 7 years at this point. So me coming back to England, I still knew that I wanted to play football, but I was basically starting from scratch because no one in England knew who I was. When I got back, I was trying to find teams. I couldn't find anywhere. Then the season started and everyone had already got their teams. So I was like, shit, like I had to move back into my mum's house. And I was like, right, I've got to get a job. I'm broke. So I was looking for jobs, ended up getting a job at Royal Mail. For Americans, it's like the equivalent of, USPS, deliver letters, deliver parcels. So I got that job and I ended up signing for Charlton. But at this time, they'd already allocated their budget for the season, which meant, yeah, you can play for us, but we ain't got money to pay you. So I was just like, all right, cool. Like, I need to play football. It's what I want to do. I need to play. So anyway, I was playing part-time. They weren't professional at this point. I was doing that alongside of working for Royal Mail. So with being a postman, it's a morning job, innit? So you wake up, you get in for like 8 o'clock and you do your round or whatever you need to do and you're done by like 2. And then I'd have training in the evening at like 8 o'clock or something, but then I wouldn't get home until like 11 p.m. And with that job, you're walking for like 6 or 7 miles, you're carrying like loads of heavy stuff, so it's really like taxing physically. So I'd be absolutely fucked after work and then have to go train. Anyway, it got to December and I was just like, bro, like, I can't keep doing this and not getting paid for it, like, respectfully, because I'm the only one on the team that's not getting paid. I can't remember how it came up, but basically I ended up moving to Crystal Palace in the January window. Did end up getting paid there. Again, it was still the same part-time. They weren't professional at that point. And I was still working for Royal Mail. And then COVID hit. Or did COVID hit or was it the following season? I don't know. No, because COVID was COVID-19. I don't know. Anyways, I think the football season got like suspended or something. So yeah, the following season starts. And at this point, with my job, I was like, I can't keep doing this, bro. I literally can't keep doing this. Like, I physically couldn't get through training sessions. I couldn't last 90 minutes in a game because I was so tired from my job. I was just kind of like, nah, bruv, something's got to give. And basically, I probably forgot to mention this, when I moved back home from being away, I got my PT qualification. So as well as playing football and working for Royal Mail, I was working in a gym on a Friday night, PTing. But the thing is, with PTing in person, it's long because you've got to work on other people's time. It's either 5 o'clock in the bloody morning or it's 6 p.m. at night. It's just really awkward times. This was when I actually started my business. It was just before COVID hit. Just obviously went online with everything. And then at this point, TikTok was just like up and coming. And I remember like, I didn't have it for ages, for months. I was like, this shit is for kids, bruv. Like, this ain't for me. And I was still posting on my Instagram, but it wasn't content like I was posting now. It was literally just like pictures of stuff. Like, I wasn't doing videos like I am doing now. Like, so I bit the bullet and I was just like, fuck it. Like, I'm just gonna start posting on TikTok. Couple months later, video goes viral, following goes through the roof. And I'm like, oh, all right. I wanted to go online with it because I was broke. So yeah, I was kind of just like, okay, now I have to keep doing this shit. Like, I've kind of got some sort of a following now. I've got to keep doing this. Again, at this point, I was in my head, I was like, I need to leave this job. Like, football is still something that I want to do. I need to leave this job because I physically can't get to where I need to be with football with Royal Mail still in the equation. I was at work one day and I was doing my round and someone recognised me on my round. They were like, oh my God, you're the girl that does the fitness stuff on TikTok. And from that point, I was like, I've got to leave. And I think about 2 or 3 months after that, I handed in my notice and I left. And this was a big risk because Royal Mail was my main income at the time. But like over COVID, I was working so much overtime because I had nothing else to do. During that time, I'd saved so much money because I knew that I wanted to leave and I just needed something to like keep me afloat, if that makes sense. So I left and just went fully online with my business. Obviously TikTok did help with that. And then whatever I was posting on TikTok, I was posting on Instagram. So my following started growing on there as well. I think at this point, I probably had maybe like 200K, like not anything close to what I've got now. And the difference leaving that job made with football was, it was like night and day. I felt like a completely different human being. And it actually ended up being my best season. So I was at Palace for a total, I think 2.5 years maybe. Ended up getting a contract with Birmingham. And this was my first professional contract. Palace weren't professional at that point either. I think it was the season after I left, they went fully pro. Ended up getting my first professional contract at the age of like, what was I, 27, 28? So I came into the game late, bruv. So yeah, went to Birmingham and it was great for me because it allowed me to move out my mum's house, because trying to move out on your own in London, myth. And then ended up playing for Jamaica as well. Still during this time doing my fitness content and stuff like that. My following was still growing. This is the first time I've been in a professional environment, so the schedule's very different. I've always been used to training in the evening, whereas now I'm in from like 9 a.m. till like 2 or 3. So that took some getting used to. January came, and when you work in the fitness industry in January, long. Because everyone's on their new year, new me. And it's great, don't get me wrong, because I always get so much work in January. But this was the first time I had the thought of questioning football. I was just so overwhelmed with everything. My football lifestyle had changed and I was struggling to balance everything. And at this point, I'd been obviously really consistent with my social media, trying to be as consistent as I could with football for what, 2 or 3 years? And I was just working. And I just wasn't getting a break. I'd come back from football and I'd be doing work. I can't just come back from football and sit on my ass because I've got a whole nother job. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that was the first time it kind of went into my head about questioning football, but I was like, nah, Shiv, like you're just feeling like this because you're overwhelmed. Like after January's gone, you'll be calm. April comes and I get the worst injury of my life. I tear my ACL, my MCL and my meniscus, which meant I had to get surgery. In all 3. And that meant I'm out for 9 or 10 months. And I don't get injured. I've never had any sort of major injury. And this was like the first injury I've got in my whole career that's put me out for a long period of time. Being like a footballer is part of your identity, yeah? So when that gets taken away from you, it's so hard to navigate mentally. But in the same breath, because I was so overwhelmed, and like I said, I'm a workaholic, I won't sit down. I'll just keep going and going and going. And I don't listen to myself, I don't listen to my body. But I do think that was the universe being like, oh, okay, you know that you're tired, you're not listening to yourself, so babes, we're gonna sit your ass down for you. How about that? Looking back on it now, I genuinely think that is why it happened. And again, I'd gone from playing semi-pro to pro and international in the space of a year. So my football loading and my physical exertion went through the roof alongside trying to grow a bloody business and grow a following. This obviously meant I had my weekends for once in my whole entire career. I actually experienced what it's like to have a Saturday and Sunday, and I was like, oh, this is nice. And it allowed me to actually do more work because I always get invited to stuff. I get in obviously brand deals here and there, but 9 times out of 10, I can't do it because of football, because of my football schedule. So this actually allowed me to do influence I ended up going to Australia and working out there for the Women's World Cup for JD, which was sick. So I ended up coming back, getting my first minutes March. I remember getting my first minutes and I was gassed, like I was buzzing, but it didn't fulfill me the way that I thought it would. I was just like, oh, is that it? Yeah, I was kind of just like, okay, that's weird, but maybe that's just how this thing works. I don't know. The season finished and started pre-season and whatever. And looking back on it now, I didn't have the fire, the desire like I did before my injury. Like I just didn't feel that when it came to football. My love for it wasn't there. So at this point, I wasn't getting any minutes at Birmingham. I'd been out for a whole year basically, and then I've done all this work, I've poured and poured into football, and it felt like it wasn't giving me anything back. So basically during this time, because my mental health wasn't in the best position, I ended up getting a therapist. I think I started working with her in like October. Guys, genuinely life-changing. I'm not the type of person who's very good with talking about their feelings, but with a therapist, it's different because they don't know you and you don't have to deal with the emotional response like you would with someone who does know you. So you're actually able to open up a bit more. I obviously told her everything. I told her where my head was currently at with football, how I was feeling towards it, and I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, is it because I'm not playing, or is it because I just genuinely just don't love it anymore? And my head was all over the gaff. One of the things that she said to me was, and it's probably gonna stick with me for my whole entire life, she was like, in life, when you don't know what to do, you sit and do nothing because the answer will come to you. Still wasn't getting any minutes. December comes and spoke to Birmingham, and I told them where my head was at. I was just like, I just don't know if I want to play football right now. Like, I feel like I need to go elsewhere to figure out if it's here or if I just genuinely don't want to play football anymore. So ended up going to Southampton. The manager there at the time, I actually played with her at Birmingham, so it was nice to be in an environment and have a manager who you kind of have a relationship already with, do you know what I mean? So when I got there, I had a conversation with her and I told her like where my head was at with football. She was like, look, at the end of the season, I want you to come to me and I want you to be like, yeah, I still love football, I still want to play. Get your minutes, there's no pressure from me, I just want you to enjoy it. Obviously I'm playing, getting minutes, go away with Jamaica, come back, and she's been sacked. I was like, yeah, brilliant, brilliant, just what I need. So the director of women's football took over for the remainder of the season. And again, at this point, this feeling about football, it still wasn't leaving my brain. There's still just something wasn't right. Still didn't feel that. It just wasn't there. And ended up having a conversation with her in regards to where my head was at. We had like a gap during the season where we didn't play. I think maybe it was like FA Cup or whatever. We had a game on a Friday night and I didn't start and I didn't come on. And I was like, okay. So I had a conversation with my agent that evening, and I'm not going to go into details of the conversation, but what my agent told me, it was very evident that I wasn't going to play there. And I felt like I was betrayed, so to speak. Things were said that I personally didn't agree with at all. So this just added another blow to my mental health at this point. And it was getting to the point where I was waking up knowing I had training, and it was like a chore to get out of bed. I would literally wake up and think, should I just say I'm ill and not come in? Like, I've never in my whole career felt like that about football. Anyone who knows me know that I will give 100%. I'm a very black and white person. I either give 100% or I don't. There's no in between with me. Yeah, my mental health was just not, it was bad. I went to London the weekend after that game, and I remember driving back on Monday, and I'm not going to repeat the thoughts that I had, but I was in the car and I was having very, very dark thoughts, bro. Like, thoughts that I've never entered my brain, and I never want them to enter my brain again. So I had training the next morning. I woke up and I was getting ready and I had anxiety. My anxiety was through the roof. So I called my actual therapist and I said, I can't do this. I actually can't do this. And I think at this point there were 2 weeks left. There were literally 2 weeks left of the season. So I was toying with like, there's 2 weeks left, Shiv, you can get through it. But when you're having dark thoughts and the environment that you're going into every day is triggering those dark thoughts, those 2 weeks, that's a long time. I ended up going in and I spoke to the psychologist there, and I had conversations with her before anyway, in terms of where my head was at with football. And I spoke to her and I was literally in tears. I was like, I cannot do this anymore. Yeah, basically I got signed off by the doctor for mental health for the last 2 weeks of the season. And my headspace has been all over the place. I felt guilt, I felt anger, I felt sadness, I don't even know, like whatever negative feeling you can think of, I felt. More so guilt, because anyone who knows me knows I'm not a quitter. I see things through. So when I look back at it, I'm like, oh shit, it was 2 weeks. But like I said, my mental state was not right. The way I can explain football is like, you've been in this long-term relationship all your life, and all of a sudden you just wake up and you don't love it anymore, but you've had a relationship with it for 30 years. It was like, I just woke up one day and I was like, actually, you don't bring anything to the table for me anymore, respectfully, because I will always love football, I will always love it, but I just didn't love it the way I did before. And again, when you leave a long-term relationship, there's so many things that come with it. There's like grief of losing that person or losing that thing, the acceptance of not having this thing in your life anymore. And it's sad. And as well, I feel like I was resenting football a little bit subconsciously, because I would always get offered brand deals or get invited to events. I just can't up and leave. I had a brand deal in November with this massive company. They're huge. Everyone in the world knows who they are. And they were going to fly me out to Vegas for a week to do work. I just can't up and leave for a week. So I'm missing out on all these great opportunities, and I'm missing out on money, and I wasn't even playing, and I wasn't even enjoying it. And I was just like, why am I still doing this? I don't even like it, and I'm saying no to all these things for what? Just to make it very clear, I was never in football for the money. I worked my arse off to get to where I was. But in the same breath, women's football don't pay the bills. What I've made off one brand deal, I make yearly in football. Do you get it? There's so many things that I want to do with my social media, but I know for a fact I can't get to where I want to be with that, with football still in the equation. And I'm a firm believer in your new life is going to cost you your old one. Just like I had to leave Royal Mail to get to where I wanted to be with football, now I'm going to have to leave football to get where I want to be with my social media. And to be honest, I feel like I knew a long time ago with what I wanted to do with football. I just didn't want to accept it. I am in a much better headspace now. Like, I feel free, and my main goal, I just want to be happy, because I feel like I haven't been happy for like over a year. I'm in the position where I can decide what I want to do. I don't have anything holding me back or restricting me anymore, and I can just live my life. If something comes up and I don't want to do it, then I can say no. If something comes up and I do want to do it, then I can say yeah. But football will always hold a massive, massive place in my heart. I've made friends who I'm going to be friends with for the rest of my life. I've had experiences that I could have only ever dreamed of, played internationally. Like, yeah, is there things with football that I wish I did do? 100%. Like, I would have loved to have played in a major tournament. I would have loved to maybe play WSL. But to look back at what I have achieved alongside building a business and gaining a combined social media following of 3 million plus followers, I'm happy with that. Yeah, it's been a journey, but now it's time for the next journey, and it's exciting stuff, and I've got things in the pipeline that I want to do. So yeah, watch this space. On top of that, I'm basically gonna start doing more YouTube videos as well. More lifestyle content. I don't really want my YouTube videos to be around fitness content, because it's not every day sit and tell you how many reps and sets, you know what I mean? I will still do fitness content, obviously, on my Instagram, my TikTok, my YouTube shorts, but my long form content will be more lifestyle, because there's more to me than sitting in a gym talking about fitness stuff. Do you get me? So with that being said, please like, comment, subscribe. Oh my God, I feel like such a YouTuber now, because I want to get to 100k. I think I'm on like 80k subs at the minute. So make sure you subscribe, because I want that little silver plaque in my yard. To everyone who follows me, to everyone who supported me with football, I appreciate every single one of you, because I wouldn't be sitting here right now in the position I am if it wasn't for you guys. So yeah, thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.